Hello again, everyone. Thanks for coming back. My name is Dr. Pat Huff, and we're here to talk more truth and accountability. I've had some people ask me here of late, why are you making YouTubes? And why are you addressing the accountability system the way that you are? So I want to explain just real quickly before we get into today's information why this is important to me. And I hope that after you understand why it's important to me, I hope it'll be important to you as well. While the teachers are busy teaching and kids are going to school, back in 2015, the Texas Legislature passed a bill, bill number 2804. Here's a copy of the bill that I'll show you in just a minute, that established the Texas Commission on Next Generation Assessments and Accountability. Now, as many of you know, especially those in the education field, there have been many complaints waged against our current assessment system that we call STAR. The legislature is hearing those complaints, and they want to respond to it. But what we're going to get, I think, is the next generation of assessments and accountability that we're going to find is going to be ramping it up one more notch. You know, it just seems like we keep going up and up and up in terms of the restrictions that are put on free teaching by the teacher and the restrictions that are put on the administration. The Texas Commission on Next Generation Assessments and Accountability has been working since 2016, the beginning, to bring in experts in the field, people that are considered to be knowledgeable about different pathways to success for students, how best to hold schools accountable, how best to determine if a student is learning or not. In each of these meetings that they've had, they've also opened it up for public comment, for public testimony. And I have been to one of those meetings in March and gave my testimony to them about what I thought they should do. And it was kind of in line with what I thought they should do when I gave my report to the Texas Senate Committee meeting. Some of you have watched that. The Texas Commission on Next Generation Assessment and Accountability is reviewing a law, a proposed law, that has already been written. And they're making their recommendations according to what's in that law, and then what they also think needs to be added to it or taken away. So I'm going to show you, just real quickly now, the report that came out from the Texas Commission on Next Generation Assessment and Accountability. And this is what it's going to be called. Teachers going back to school in 17 and 18, in the fall of 17, 1 year from now, are going to have a new assessment program. And schools and school districts are going to have a new accountability system. And this is what has been worked on the entire year of 2016. And it's set to go because the draft has been issued. And I'll show you the cover of that right now. Now, in this, there are radical changes that have been proposed for how teaching is going to be accomplished. And I just want to go over with you so that you know what's getting ready to come to you. Let me read this to you, and I'm going to show you the document as well. But let me read it to begin with. This is the long-term vision of the Commission. The Commission envisions a mastery or competency-based learning and assessment system that is self-paced, rather than the current system that places students in a particular grade based on their ages. Instruction for each student would be individualized and students would be assessed as they reach certain instructional milestones. The current Texas assessment and accountability system should not be an obstacle to reaching this objective. And then it goes on to say that the recommendations are that they implement an individualized, integrated system of multiple assessments using computerized adaptive testing and instruction. And then this is going to allow the Commissioner of Education to approve locally developed writing assessments. So districts are going to have their own writing assessments, it appears, as long as they get the approval of the commissioner. And that would be Commissioner Mike Morath. Now, if you caught that, this is radically different than how students are being instructed now. This is going to further cement the electronic device as the teacher in the classroom. And it's going to further allocate the teacher as the facilitator in the classroom. Instruction for each student would be individualized, and students would be assessed as they reach certain instructional milestones. So they're going to have, and we've always known about benchmarks, that's been a common occurrence, but it appears that these are going to be taking the place of the state test. Now that remains to be seen. We'll see what the final recommendations are and what the law is. But that does appear to be what it looks like it's going to be. And so it's going to be competency-based instruction. Competency-based. In other words, when the student passes that part, no matter what his age, her age, no matter what grade they're allocated to, then they're going to be able to move on because they mastered that competency. And that's going to be in the electronic device that that student has been issued, whether it be a tablet, a laptop, or whatever, phone, smartphone. And then I want to show you one more document here that I think is vitally important. And I'm going to read this one to you. This is further in the Texas Commission on the Next Generation Assessment and Accountability, their draft recommendations. Here on page 10, item number 6, it says, align the state accountability system with ESSA requirements. And that's the new federal law that went into effect last December, if you remember. It says, align the state and federal accountability systems to ensure that the results are consistent with common goals. When the federal regulations regarding ESSA are released in the fall of 2016, just coming up, Texas will be able to use the guidance provided by the specific federal regulations as it develops the A through F accountability system. An A through F accountability system to identify underperforming schools in Texas is scheduled to be implemented in the 2017-2018 school year. Now, my opinion of that is that it is horribly demeaning to schools, teachers, and students who go to schools who happen to be rated as a D or an F. And remember, this is going to be determined, by and large, by the economic developed areas in which the school is located. And in those areas of high poverty, you're going to see a number of schools getting D or F. And we talked about that in a previous YouTube. And that is the blatant discrimination that is evident in the accountability system that is being used now. So we're going to be further demeaning the teachers and the schools and the community at large by labeling them A through F. And those who get the D through F will certainly have that demeaning label placed upon them. I'm going to stop the video here and we'll take it up in the next section. But please stay tuned for part 2 of this video.